Not in Germany. I'm not gonna see how far I could go. As I was saying, I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk this way in America. Okay, so now I could laugh, but in the moments this happened, I was terrified with my last ex. Me, Roxanne, my last ex. It even hurts to say his name, so I ain't even gonna say his name. He was outside fucking around with the water hose, his water hose, and he came back inside with water all over his glasses, like my glasses right now, and it looked like animal semen, like people semen, mixed with water, and we really couldn't tell what the liquid was. We just assumed it was water because it came out of the hose. And I can remember Roxanne, and I can remember my ex. It's like slow motion, trying to remember what was said, but I remember very vividly now. And my ex was like, because my ex was like OCD about his hose and the way it wrapped. He was very narcissistic about that hose and exactly the way how he wanted it. And I don't know, I was the fall guy. I don't know if I was the last one to touch the hose or not because it was the community hose. And I didn't want to get put out and evicted since I was the one that lived there. And he knew I couldn't say anything back. The two of them knew I couldn't say anything back because I was going to get put out. That was the way of his rule of how he ran his household. Was that, if I ever spoke out, I would get put out. So I don't want to get into all that and make myself sad all over again and mad and glad that I'm not there. But, so he comes in and he's like, that was dumb. I don't know if he said that was dumb or you were dumb. Talking to me, not Roxanne, because Roxanne wasn't living there. There was some times when Roxanne lived with us, but that wasn't one of them. He was like, that was dumb, leaving that hose like that. And Roxanne was like, he said, you're dumb. And I'm not sure who said what happened next was, I didn't say you were dumb. I said it was dumb. And then so Roxanne was like laughing. Oh, you dumb. I felt like boys and brotherhood, but I could not laugh. Now I can laugh. Because my ex was the uptight kind. And man, it was so hard not to laugh in that moment. I don't know why that memory hit me, but now I can laugh. I don't know if you've ever been in some domestic stuff where you can't move at all there's no movement without getting shouted at. If you ever been around somebody so difficult to where you're scared to even breathe around them, but that was my ex. And I've had some bosses like that where no matter what you do, Sammy was like that on one of my jobs. I'm not gonna get into which job, and he was a big guy talking to me, talking to a woman like that, no matter what you do. But in the moments you don't know that's his problem. You thinking, I gotta get this right, man. I'm trying to not lose my job. I'm trying to not get my teeth kicked down my throat. I'm trying to survive this, man. And so when I was working for him, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, this is unhealthy. He shouldn't be talking to me like this. But you're just thinking, man, why can't domestic survivors do that? If they're lucky and blessed enough to survive, you do that to yourself. You're like, man, this is my fault. Now I know that wasn't my fault. But in the moments, I'm like, he's so right. I keep fucking up. I can't get my job right. And so he's so critical. And so these people that I work for at the undisclosed location, because I'm still in the States and they can still come for me. I signed a confidential that I wouldn't bash the company. So anyway, You they latched onto my social media and knew, so they made me sign something, and I don't know if anybody else had to sign, but anyway, so yeah, he was always on me about not doing anything right, and the way he talked to me was just so roughly. And for a larger sized guy like that, built not quite all muscle, but just really like more than a 500 pounder. I'm not sure if that's humanly possible, but he looked about 700 pounds, and I'm not sure what his height. And so just shouting at you, this is not right. And that was my ex's difficult personality type, but now I can laugh at all of it. You know, Sammy has some funny, he was a really uptight guy, but he was an unfriendly gay guy, but he had some funny moments. Same thing, my last ex was an unfriendly gay guy, had some funny moments. I didn't know that going into the marriage that he was, I was kidnapped into this marriage. I didn't know that he was such an uptight guy. The two of them put up fronts, thank God. You know, God got me away from all of that before it was worse. Could have been worse, you know. Could have been married to Sammy, because he dated a lot of his employees. I thank God he got me out of that before it festered and manifested. But yes, that the hose pipe, the treacherous hose pipe was so funny, Roxanne. I could finally laugh. And but that water went. And me just standing there, I couldn't do nothing but just stand there, because I didn't have a way out yet. I didn't have a way to escape, like to leave. I didn't have a fallback as far as, I just wanted to walk out the door in that moment and just walk out, but I knew I couldn't leave. I knew he was that dangerous and I was stuck that deep. And he kind of gave me that look like, bitch, don't even try it. Like, don't even try to leave with Roxanne, because Roxanne had already talked about two of us running away together because she knew the situation was fucked up. But as far as me talking about that, that's the end of the story about the hose pipe. But yeah, Sammy, I didn't mean to recall a memory while I was in the middle of the podcast, but talking about, that's how memories work, that's how amnesia works. But and I've got all of that stuff going, but in the middle of me talking about my ex, I recall memories of Sammy and working at that place. And this type of place, people, it was a fake glamour to it. I always thought it was glamorous, especially for my age group. You know, I'm still young, not 20-something, but I'm still young. And it was an illusion that working at this type of place, I can say casino legally. I'm not saying which casino I was at, but it's a false illusion at the casinos that for a person in my age group, you get to be about 60 or more. You should know better, but you under 60. They lied to me. This lied to me about how great the job was gonna be, the food, the benefits, the way you're treated. The way, the dynamics, the culture, the ethics. You don't have to worry about ethics issues. They put me with a bunch of men that were sexist, and that a bunch of unfriendly gay guys that hated women. And I'm pretty sure that those were some hate crimes, but that was in the South. You look like a fool, and you probably will come up missing or dead to report any type of hate crimes. That's anywhere in America. That's why I've never reported any hate crimes. And numbers game. And some of us who reported hate crimes probably are no longer with us. So that would be my advice to you, is not to report a hate crime. But yeah, they lied about some started to recall some really bad memories about my lunchtime and having to go home to a sexist husband and kids that weren't mine, our pets together, that I trauma bonded with when he left us to go be with his side guy. And I had to run his household that I didn't. And this was not a livable. Holes in the wall, holes in the floor. We got homeless people coming over with hepatitis and God knows what else, using our facilities, using our bathrooms. And I know now where my viruses, why I couldn't get rid of my viruses. And I'm getting old. I ain't got time to be putting up with no shit from no man. No shit like that. Where you about to have just do all these gay things. You need your own place. You need me out. Why'd you move me in the first place? You doing all this gay shit. You need privacy. I don't want to see it. And I'm just thankful that worked out that way. To where I'm alive and I'm well, mostly. Alive to tell my story. And so I'm gonna take my time closing out. But yeah, that casino, it's some memories that I get stuck on sometimes, and then the way they removed me was just really, and then the security there was just, ooh. It still haunts me. That sums up that casino. It still haunts me. And my time in Mississippi still haunts me. Like the ghost of Emmett Till or something, like that child's ghost is haunting me. Like something more happened to him that night that he's not gonna bring him back, but he wants the cold case uncovered. I come up dead trying to uncover his case, and it's not. The cops are gonna make me do it at some point. No one likes a cold case, even if it is a little black kid. No one. People want to know what happened to him, what really happened that night. They put up what will make a good story, and that was the end of that. And you speak out and try to uncover slave stories. You try to uncover black culture stories. It's dangerous. This is why most people, I included, have never advocated in that way to close cold cases on the African American community, because you come up missing and dead, especially in not north. I would say not north, and in the South, if you were to try to uncover a black cold case, yeah, you would definitely. There's a lot of places to hide a body. In Mississippi, is very swamp-ridden and very rural, very wooded. But in the north, it's from what I'm seeing, certain states at least, certain states like Illinois, is not. You'd have a hard time getting away with that. I'm not gonna rule it out that somebody wouldn't try it. I would still be in danger. You still be in danger if you try to help the blacks with their. Somebody talks about in the media before that other races get media coverage when someone gets kidnapped, a woman gets kidnapped, and not the Hispanic one, but the blacks are always complaining about it, and they're right. For once, I agree with the blacks. They don't get a lot of news coverage when crimes happen to their people, and so they, like when a white person come up missing, or Hispanic, or Puerto Rican, or whatever, Arabic, when that, it gets more media coverage than when a black person come up missing. So that's the American umbrella that sums it up, is making me do these things. Like there's nobody to uncover these cold cases for the black culture. What are happening to these people? What really happened to Emmett Till? They got covered up. Why can't I get this ghost of this kid off my mind? Why didn't the mother do right by him and investigate more into his story? Fearful or not, chicken shit or not, she should have done more for him than what she done. And the case needs closure. And then black on black crime. Could have been somebody black involved. We won't know until I'm forced to do this. Especially North Mississippi near Clarksdale. I've been to North Mississippi. I've never been to Clarksdale. But I've been to, I mean, it's an act of God that I got out of it. There are not a lot of white people in North Mississippi. You go to North Mississippi, it's like you stepped off a slave boat, and it's like nothing has changed since the 1800s. I mean, you see buildings that for the most part look postmodern. They look, for the most part, modern. But overall, it's like a time warp. It's the best way I can describe it. It's that outdated North Mississippi. North Mississippi in when did I leave? What year are we in? 2025. So, and I hadn't been to North Mississippi in a couple of years prior to. It might not be done changed since then, so I can't gauge the last time I've been in North Mississippi, but it had to be at least some years, because most of my years was spent on the coast and traveling north. You know, I always was meeting somebody through a social event like a church. I was very active in different churches when I was in Mississippi. Probably I know that's why I'm alive today to talk to the public, share my story. I was always on some kind of church trip. Most of the church trips was up north. I don't know why, but they just were. Probably maybe the quiet and the serene, fellowship and worship, or maybe it was some Jim Jones type shit. I don't know. And lured us out, and I just got lucky and blessed. But so a lot of church trips were up North Mississippi, and it's mainly just nothing but miles and miles and miles of woods. Just like I said, 1800s. That's what, like, before buildings and stuff was the thing. Before project development was a thing. This was like less than 20 years ago. I'm North Mississippi, and we riding up north, and on a main highway, we on 49, and you, maybe even now, you get on 49, get a certain point north, all you see is woods. You feel like you're back in the 1800s with a paved road that don't look gravel. And you're like, how am I here? And then did I just step into another portal? That's how North Mississippi is. It's supposed to look that way. You are not lost. You are not in another dimension. You are in North Mississippi. Mindfuck. I come to Illinois. Lots of buildings, lots of paved roads. That's my whole point. Mississippi don't have a lot of paved roads. They show you what they want you to see on TV. There are not a lot of people I want to help in Mississippi. So right now my lips real dry, and I got something I'm about to put on them to my AC is blowing right on top of my lips and drying them out like I'm outside. So just like a windy day or something outside. So that's just some chapstick I put on to protect them. I'm trying to speed this up, but I'm also not trying to rush myself. So I've been taking the prayer. I miss connecting with Kylie online through social media, and I praying about my sicknesses and my healing this week, and praying about my move, praying about meeting her, and I just really want to go to the library and connect. Go to in a week I'm supposed to be on bed rest because I don't have Wi-Fi connection here, and I want to see her, what she's been up to connect with her online, and go get my girl. I want to see her and show her I'm mostly fine. Just make sure she's fine, ain't nobody messing with her. It goes both ways. So I miss that online connection, but at the same time, it's God sent, being able to unplug from social media. Like, it feels so good not having to be online. They talk about that in the media, in the news talk about how social media isn't good for young people. When they say that, people normally think teenage age group, 20 something, but it affects me, 40 something. I'm still young. I'm under. Yeah, so it's mental. It's not good to be online all the time for me. So this has been like a blessing and a curse, having limited Wi-Fi. But I'm still trying to survive Thanksgiving week, so God may not call me out. This week He may not call me outdoor. He may not call me. So he may lead me to stay home. So I'm still praying about that. I'm sleepy right now, and I wanna see Kylie. I wanna see her, and so. But God may not lead me outside of this apartment. I'm scratching, not as bad as before. Still trying to, it's still interrupts my podcast having to stop and scratch. I don't want to say his name or who did this to me. I wasn't doing this before I met him. And now I'm having to stop my work and scratch because of my encounter with him. I won't say too much more about him because it makes me angry to think about it, and I don't want that type of poison and hatred in my heart.